Hello, steady Taurus. This reading meets you at a moment when your sense of stability may be quietly evolving beneath the surface. What once felt certain may now be asking to be examined with fresh eyes, not because it is falling apart, but because you are beginning to outgrow old definitions of security. You may be longing for greater security, deeper fulfillment, or the confidence that comes from knowing your life is built on something real and enduring. Before looking outward for those answers, pause and ask yourself whether your choices are reflecting your true values or simply protecting familiar routines that have become comfortable over time. Sometimes the greatest shift does not begin with changing your circumstances, but with changing the relationship you have with yourself. When fear becomes the foundation of your decisions, it becomes much harder to recognize the opportunities already waiting to be noticed, quietly standing at the edge of your awareness. Abundance is not simply about what arrives from the outside. It often begins when you stop measuring your worth through worry or scarcity and begin trusting your own judgment with greater consistency. The more you believe that your value depends on what you achieve or accumulate, the easier it becomes to overlook the quiet richness already taking root within you. Every challenge you have faced has refined your ability to recognize what deserves your energy and what no longer belongs in your life. Even the disappointments you once wished had never happened have taught you something about discernment, resilience, and the kind of life you genuinely want to build. Like a patient gardener preparing healthy soil, each thoughtful decision strengthens the foundation that future growth depends upon, even if the first signs of new life remain hidden beneath the surface for a while. One of the most supportive ways to stay connected with yourself is through simple, consistent rituals that encourage awareness rather than perfection. These practices are not about becoming someone different, but about returning to the person you have always been beneath the noise of expectation and self-doubt. Spend a little time writing about the life you are intentionally building, not as wishful thinking, but as a reminder of the person you are becoming and the values you are choosing to live by. Notice which dreams continue to feel meaningful when no one else is watching, because those often reveal your deepest truth. Let meditation become an opportunity to settle into your body, perhaps by quietly watching the steady glow of a candle, or simply following your breath until your mind becomes less crowded and your intuition easier to hear. As your thoughts begin to settle, you may discover that the answers you have been searching for were never absent. They were simply waiting for enough stillness to be heard. This journey reaches far beyond financial success because genuine abundance includes your emotional well-being, physical health, and inner peace. It is reflected in the way you wake each morning, the quality of your relationships, and the sense of calm that follows decisions made with integrity rather than pressure. Gentle movement, nourishing meals, meaningful rest, and relationships that leave you feeling respected all strengthen the sense of security you are trying to cultivate. Creating a stable life is not only about what you accomplish, but also about how well you care for the person accomplishing it. The more consistently you honor your own needs, the more naturally your confidence begins to grow from within, becoming less dependent on external validation and more deeply rooted in quiet self-trust. The King of Pentacles appears here not as a guarantee of wealth, but as a symbol of wise stewardship and lasting maturity. It reflects someone who has learned, through experience, developed patience, and built success, one thoughtful step at a time, instead of chasing quick victories. This figure reminds you that true prosperity often grows through consistency, responsibility, and respect for the resources already in your care. Rather than scattering your attention across every demand, ask yourself what truly deserves your care and what has become little more than a distraction. Every commitment you accept carries an invisible cost, so choose carefully where your energy is invested. When your daily choices reflect your deeper values, your path becomes steadier and your progress more meaningful, creating results that feel sustainable rather than temporary. Allow yourself to feel at home within your own nature instead of seeking constant reassurance from outside voices. There is a quiet confidence that emerges when you stop comparing your journey with someone else's and begin trusting the rhythm that feels authentic to you. Trust that your growth is unfolding through the quiet decisions you make each day, even when the results are not immediately visible. Like strong roots spreading beneath the earth long before a tree reaches toward the sky, Much of your most important growth is taking place where no one else can see it. Protect your energy, remain grounded in what matters most, and remember that these reflections are meant as invitations for self-exploration rather than fixed predictions. Keep what resonates with your experience, release what does not, and let your own wisdom guide the way with patience and compassion. Your body may also be asking for something you have postponed for too long: genuine rest. Responsibility is one of your strengths, yet carrying every obligation without pause can slowly disconnect you from yourself. You are capable of enduring a great deal, but endurance should never become a substitute for restoration. Gentle activities such as walking, stretching, gardening, or even spending time near water can help restore a sense of calm, while reminding you that slowing down is sometimes the most productive choice you can make. Giving yourself permission to pause is not a sign of losing momentum. It is often the very reason you are able to continue with renewed clarity and strength. You may also find yourself moving through a quiet, emotional transition. Some recent experiences may have tested your patience or left you questioning your direction, but they have also revealed important truths about what you value most. They have shown you which relationships nourish your spirit, which habits support your well-being, and which expectations no longer fit the person you are becoming. Instead of lingering in disappointment, allow those lessons to become part of the stronger foundation you are building. Every ending has quietly prepared you for a wiser beginning, even if you could not recognize it at the time. The future is shaped less by what you refuse to release than by what you choose to nurture from this point forward. And each small decision made with intention becomes another stone in the steady path you are creating for yourself. A quiet renewal begins when you stop carrying the disappointment of giving your kindness where it could never truly be received. You may have offered patience, affection, and unwavering support to family, friends, or partners, hoping those same qualities would eventually find their way back to you. Perhaps you believe that if you loved a little more, explained yourself more clearly, or remained patient a little longer, the balance would somehow be restored. Over time, however, you begin to understand that not everyone has the capacity to return what you freely give. And that realization is not a loss, but an invitation to value your own heart more deeply. It teaches you that love becomes healthier when it is offered freely rather than used as a bridge to earn acceptance. As you release that expectation, your energy gradually returns to where it has always belonged with you, where it can nourish your own growth instead of being endlessly depleted. Another person's inability to meet you with warmth or understanding does not diminish your worth. It simply reveals the limits of their own journey. Once you recognize this, protecting your peace no longer feels selfish, but necessary. Boundaries stop feeling like walls and begin feeling like healthy roots that allow you to remain steady no matter what surrounds you. Instead of pouring yourself into empty spaces, you begin nurturing the parts of your life that genuinely sustain you, whether that means investing more deeply in trusted relationships, meaningful work, or your own well-being. The confidence grown within you is quieter than force, yet far more enduring because it is rooted in self-respect rather than approval. It is the kind of confidence that no longer needs constant reassurance because it is built from lived experience rather than outside validation. The Ace of Swords appears as a symbol of clear perception, inviting you to see your circumstances without the fog of old fears or emotional confusion. It encourages honest conversations with yourself and the courage to release patterns that no longer reflect who you are becoming. Sometimes clarity arrives not through dramatic revelations, but through small moments when something that once felt acceptable suddenly no longer aligns with your values. For Taurus, this clarity is less about rushing toward change and more about recognizing which foundations remain strong enough to build upon and which have quietly begun to crack beneath the weight of old expectations. Every insight helps you make decisions that honor both your values and your future, allowing wisdom to replace hesitation, one thoughtful choice at a time. The Chariot can be understood as the discipline that comes from moving with intention instead of reacting to every distraction. Progress is created by consistency, not urgency, and your steady determination becomes one of your greatest strengths. Like a river that slowly shakes stone through persistence rather than force, your greatest achievements are often created through quiet dedication. Even moments of silence or distance in important relationships can become opportunities to understand what truly deserves your attention and what simply demands your reaction. By directing your energy with care, you discover that lasting progress often unfolds through quiet persistence rather than dramatic breakthroughs. Every deliberate step reinforces the trust you are learning to place in your own pace instead of comparing it with anyone else's. Judgment speaks of reconciliation with yourself after experiences that once felt heavy or unfinished. Rather than viewing the past as something to escape, you begin recognizing it as a teacher that has refined your wisdom and compassion. Instead of asking why certain chapters unfolded the way they did, you become more interested in what they have revealed about your resilience, your values, and your capacity to grow. This process creates room for healthier relationships, built on honesty, mutual respect, and emotional maturity. The star gently follows with a reminder that hope often returns when you stop forcing outcomes and begin trusting your own inner direction. Faith becomes less about certainty and more about believing that each intentional choice is quietly shaping a future that reflects who you have become. Its light also suggests that meaningful connections are drawn toward authenticity rather than performance. Someone may appreciate your calm presence because it allows genuine communication to unfold naturally, while your creative work and practical ambitions benefit from renewed confidence and thoughtful focus. The steadiness you bring into a room often speaks more loudly than any attempt to impress others, creating an atmosphere where trust can develop naturally. Instead of promising certainty, these symbols encourage you to remain open to opportunities that align with the life you are intentionally building. What truly belongs in your life rarely requires you to abandon your values in order to receive it. The Ten of Pentacles reflects the deeper meaning of abundance, relationships that feel secure, work that carries purpose, and a foundation capable of supporting future generations of dreams. It reminds you that true prosperity is created through patience, integrity, and choices that remain consistent over time. Like an old oak strengthened by countless seasons, lasting security grows through repeated acts of care rather than sudden moments of success. The rewards you begin noticing are less about sudden fortune and more about recognizing how far your steady effort has already carried you. You begin appreciating not only what you have achieved, but also the character you have developed while building it. Your physical well-being appears supported, although lingering worries may still occupy more space in your thoughts than they deserve. Rather than carrying every concern alone, allow yourself to remain connected with people who help you feel understood. Sometimes speaking your thoughts aloud helps reveal that what felt overwhelming becomes lighter when shared with someone who listens without judgment. Even a simple conversation can ease emotional weight and remind you that strength does not require isolation. Solitude can restore perspective, but meaningful companionship helps keep your heart open and reminds you that receiving support is just as important as offering it. Your professional life also reflects gradual momentum. A project that has demanded patience may finally begin revealing the value of everything you have invested in it, offering both practical progress and a renewed sense of purpose. Even if the results appear modest at first, they represent the beginning of something built on genuine substance rather than temporary excitement. If you are exploring new career opportunities, remain persistent and willing to adapt your approach, including using digital tools and expanding where you search. Every application, conversation, or new skill strengthens your confidence as much as it strengthens your experience. Growth rarely arrives all at once, yet every thoughtful step strengthens the path beneath your feet and prepares you for opportunities that are truly aligned with your abilities. Financially, this passage encourages careful discernment rather than impulsive optimism. The clarity represented by the sword reminds you to recognize opportunities that genuinely support your long-term values, while avoiding decisions driven by fear or pressure. Instead of asking what promises the fastest return, consider what creates the strongest foundation for your future. Conversations, agreements, or practical developments may help you see your resources from a fresh perspective, allowing previous obstacles to feel more manageable. Your greatest asset is not luck, but the wisdom you have earned through experience, especially your growing ability to distinguish between temporary excitement and lasting value. Generosity remains one of your beautiful qualities, yet it becomes even more meaningful when guided by healthy boundaries. Continue making financial choices that reflect both compassion and responsibility, remembering that sustainable abundance grows through intention instead of urgency. Supporting others should never require abandoning your own sense of stability, because lasting generosity begins with caring responsibly for yourself as well. As you release what no longer serves your well-being, you create room for opportunities that feel stable, balanced, and aligned with the life you genuinely want to cultivate. The more intentionally you care for your own foundation, the more naturally your abundance becomes something that can also support others. In your relationships, a quieter sense of closeness begins to replace the need for constant reassurance. If you share your life with someone, small moments of presence and honest conversation may strengthen the bond more deeply than grand gestures ever could. Shared routines, thoughtful kindness, and the willingness to truly listen often become the strongest expressions of love, because they create a sense of safety that words alone cannot provide. Instead of focusing on where the relationship should be, appreciate how trust is built through everyday acts of care, patience, and mutual respect. Over time, these ordinary moments become the very memories that remind you love is not measured by intensity alone, but by the steady commitment to keep choosing one another with openness, kindness, and sincerity. If you are sharing your life with someone, this chapter invites you to enjoy the quiet happiness found in everyday moments together. The strongest relationships are often shaped less by extraordinary milestones than by ordinary mornings, thoughtful conversations, shared routines, and the reassuring feeling that someone consistently chooses to walk beside you. As trust deepens, conversations about the future may begin to feel more natural, whether they involve creating a home, expanding your family, making a deeper commitment, or simply imagining a life that reflects the values you both share. Rather than rushing toward milestones, allow each decision to grow from mutual understanding and a foundation that feels genuinely secure. A future built with patience often becomes stronger because every step has been taken with intention instead of pressure. You may also notice that not everyone around your relationship offers immediate acceptance. A family member or someone close to your partner may still be observing you carefully, needing time before they fully understand your intentions. Their hesitation may have more to do with their own hopes, fears, or protective instincts than with anything you have done. Instead of trying to win approval, let your consistency speak for itself. Genuine respect is earned through the way you show up every day, and those who remain open will eventually recognize the care and sincerity you bring into the relationship. Authentic character has a quiet way of revealing itself over time, often without needing to defend or explain itself. If your path is currently your own, memories of someone from your past may quietly resurface. Whether that happens through an unexpected conversation, a familiar place, an old photograph, or simply your own reflections, the important question is not whether the past returns, but whether it still belongs in the life you are creating. Familiarity can easily be mistaken for belonging, especially when loneliness or nostalgia softens old memories. It is natural to remember the warmth while forgetting the weight, yet your heart deserves the clarity to distinguish between what was comforting and what was truly healthy. Before reopening a door that once caused pain, take time to ask yourself whether the relationship itself has changed, or whether you have simply grown enough to see it differently. People are certainly capable of learning and evolving, yet meaningful change requires honesty, accountability, and sustained effort. Real transformation is revealed through consistent actions, not hopeful promises alone. More importantly, you have changed. Your understanding of love, respect, and your own value has matured, allowing you to make choices that honor who you are now instead of who you once were. Whatever decision you make, let it come from self-respect rather than fear of being alone or a desire to recreate what has already run its course. Your family life also offers opportunities for deeper understanding. Long-standing habits, emotional patterns, or unspoken expectations may gradually become easier to recognize, creating space for more compassionate conversations. You may begin noticing how certain beliefs have quietly been passed from one generation to the next, shaping reactions without anyone fully realizing it. Healing does not always arrive through dramatic moments. Often it grows through small acts of patience, listening, and the willingness to approach one another with greater openness. Every sincere conversation has the potential to soften misunderstandings that have existed for far longer than anyone intended. Whether your family is connected by blood or chosen through life, the people who truly care about you are likely to notice the quiet confidence you have been cultivating. Younger family members or children may remind you to reconnect with curiosity, laughter, and the simple pleasures that often get overlooked in adult responsibilities. Their openness can become a gentle reminder that joy does not always need a reason to exist. By creating an atmosphere where both independence and closeness are respected, you help build a home that feels emotionally safe for everyone involved. The environment you create through kindness and consistency often becomes one of the greatest gifts you offer the people you love. Your energy feels most balanced when it is directed toward what genuinely matters, instead of being scattered across every demand placed before you. Like water nourishing only the plants that are meant to grow, your attention becomes far more powerful when it is focused instead of constantly divided. Generosity remains one of your strengths, but it becomes even more meaningful when supported by healthy boundaries. Giving from a place of fullness nourishes both you and those around you, while giving beyond your limits eventually leaves you depleted. Caring for yourself allows your kindness to remain sustainable instead of becoming another source of exhaustion. That same wisdom asks you to be thoughtful about whom you trust. If someone has repeatedly dismissed your boundaries or taken advantage of your kindness, there is no need to ignore those experiences in the name of hope. Forgiveness and discernment are not opposites. They can exist side by side without contradiction. Compassion and discernment can exist together. Protecting your peace is not a rejection of others. It is an expression of self-respect. The people who truly value you will never require you to abandon your own well-being in order to earn their acceptance. Communication also deserves special care. Honesty is valuable, yet the timing, intention, and kindness behind your words often determine whether truth becomes healing or harm. There are moments when listening creates greater understanding than speaking immediately, and learning that balance strengthens every meaningful relationship in your life. Sometimes a thoughtful pause communicates more wisdom than the quickest response. Speaking from calm reflection rather than emotional urgency allows your words to build trust instead of unintentionally creating distance. If you are studying or developing new skills, continue appreciating steady progress rather than measuring your worth through perfect results. Every lesson learned, every mistake corrected, and every challenge overcome quietly adds another layer to your confidence. Your natural determination can become a tremendous advantage, but it may also tempt you to judge yourself too harshly whenever expectations are not immediately met. Growth is rarely linear, and each lesson contributes to the solid foundation you are patiently building. Trust that mastery is created through repeated effort, not through the pressure to be flawless from the beginning. You may naturally feel drawn toward people who embody patience, emotional honesty, and practical wisdom. Relationships built on mutual respect and thoughtful communication tend to support your growth far more than those fueled by constant intensity or uncertainty. There is something deeply reassuring about connections that allow you to relax into your authentic self rather than constantly proving your worth. The most meaningful relationships are often the ones that encourage you to become more fully yourself rather than asking you to perform a version of yourself to earn love or acceptance. As this reflection comes to a close, remember that its purpose is not to predict your future, but to help you see your present with greater clarity. These messages are best understood as invitations to reflect, not instructions that replace your own judgment or lived experience. Keep what resonates with your own experience, release what does not, and allow your intuition to remain your most trusted guide. If these reflections have offered comfort or insight, I would be grateful if you supported this work with a like. And if you would like to continue exploring thoughtful astrology together, you're warmly invited to subscribe and join this growing community where each reflection is offered with care, curiosity, and respect for your unique journey. Thank you for spending this time here and for bringing your openness to these reflections. Every thoughtful viewer helps shape this space into a community where kindness, curiosity, and personal growth can continue to flourish together. Your willingness to pause, reflect, and look inward gives these conversations their deepest meaning. Wherever your path leads next, may you carry forward a little more trust in yourself, a little more peace within your heart, and the quiet confidence that comes from building a life rooted in your deepest values. May that steady confidence continue to grow through every choice you make, reminding you that lasting fulfillment is created one intentional step at a time.